Welcome back to another edition of the Racing Insiders. This week we're at the SCCA Runoffs. We have competitors there. We have analysts there. You get the best here on the Racing Insiders. The ALMS is at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. We've got a report from that. Global RallyCross is at the dirt track in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll get more from that. And Are You Kidding Me? Next on the Racing Insiders. Welcome back to another edition of the Racing Insiders, the only place in broadcasting where you're going to get sports car content every week. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Jim Daniels and Peter Keene are at the SCCA Runoffs. It's not a pretty story. We've got Jeff Lepper sitting in for them. Jeff is an analyst with the SCCA Runoffs and with the Pirelli World Challenge. Jeff is there at Road America. Jeff, what happened?
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, exciting stuff here at the 50th running of the SCCA Runoffs here at Road America. I got that beautiful media center behind me. The sun is setting on 701 amateur competitors all across the country converging here for a week of intense competition, and it really was. Got to give huge kudos out to Lawrence Loshak and Andrew Altamonte. They both took multiple national wins here, 2 for each of them in 2 different classes. It was hot. It was furious. We had rain, only 1 qualifying session in the 3 days in the dry for all 820 competitors here, but 28 brand new national champions crowned here this weekend.
Jeff, they used to call this the Olympics of amateur sports car racing. Does it have that a feel? Is it big? The people coming from all over the U.S., does it have that big feel to it?
Oh, it really does. You got guys in the pits that only see each other once a year, families that only see each other once a year. My father was racing, Thomas Lepper. He ran in the STL with Peter Keene, had a motor change in that, took a motor out of Greg Amy's car, put in his car. Greg Amy put a spare motor in just so my dad can make the race. This is the kind of camaraderie that SCCA is about. It is amazing.
And there was a time when they were talking about the new generation of Fast and Furious guys who were coming in with the tweed coats and the pipes, and they were blending with the SCCA. I imagine that happens at the runoffs, right?
Oh, it sure does, man. It is amazing to see that transpire. All the different records that were set here this weekend. Over 660 cars lined up on the front stretch for an aerial photograph. We had, once again, 701 cars taking a time here this weekend. Lawrence Loshak becomes the 4th different driver to win a national championship in 4 different classes. It's just absolutely amazing at this event. By far the best road racing event in the world.
And so we've got come down to it. Jim Daniels and Peter Keene, they're normally hosts here on the Racing Insiders. They were in the SCCA Runoffs. How'd they do?
Well, Jim Daniels qualified 2nd, and his Mazda Miata had a great run, battling for the lead, was out front, some fluids on the track. He lost it, went way wide, looked like a global rallycross car that we'll talk about a little bit later in his little Miata, broke a shifter heim. He was out of the race. Peter Keene in his STL had a hard time in qualifying, said his car really wasn't at pace. He needed to work on his driving, got taken out in turn number 8. His race was done. So really tough for the Racing Insider staff.
Wow. So the picture of Papa Bill Wood Smurf on the back of the MX-5 that Jim Daniels was driving didn't help him at all?
Not at all. Actually, if anything, it got him a lot of airtime, so to speak.
Well, normally I bring people good luck. Maybe this time I'll wait a week or so before I contact Jim to make sure I can still talk to him. I know he put the picture back there for some good luck. Maybe it didn't work that well. It was good to hear about the multiple championships. Anything else that comes to mind about this great event? And it is a great event for amateur sports car racing here in the United States.
Well, my only thing that I really have to kind of gripe about, it's not an "are you kidding me?" It's not that bad, but I hate seeing races won in the tech shed. Yes, we want to keep everybody fair, but if it's not a significant advantage, if that did not win you the race, I don't think you should be thrown out. The top 2 guys in Ace Sedan out because they found a piece in their carburetor that probably wasn't an advantage, and that gives John Heinersee his 12th championship. Great for him. You still got to be there at the end, but I hate seeing races won in the tech shed.
The 50th SCCA Runoffs at Road America in Wisconsin. It's a great event, and one that any sports car aficionado has to think about going to, try to get to. Now, Jeff, here's the big thing. I know that you have a lady in your life, but did you get out and party too much? I hear that that's a big thing at the Runoffs.
My eyes are still a little heavy. It's not because the sun's in my eyes, it's setting. It's because of the week-long celebration here at Road America.
Jeff Lepper, our co-host today at the Racing Insiders at the Road America with the SCCA Runoffs, the 50th SCCA Runoffs. Right after this, the ALMS round at Circuit of the Americas, another big party there. We go from amateur sports car racing to the major leagues of American sports car racing. Right after this, the Racing Insiders will be right back.
Let us know what you think about what the Racing Insiders have to say. Tell us on Facebook and Twitter. Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Peter Keene and Jim Daniels are at the SCCA Runoffs in Road America. In for them this week is Jeff Lepper, a Pirelli World Challenge and an analyst at the SCCA Runoffs. The ALMS round at Circuit of the Americas, a great race. And people didn't happen at the front of the field where Muscle Milk, Lucas Luhr, and Klaus Graf ran off and hid their 7th straight win, lapped the field more than once. It was a runaway. The huge race, though, was in GT, where the Corvettes and the BMWs were trading places and sliding around. It was a big win for the Corvette, for Jan Magnussen and Antonio Garcia, who was in the car at the end holding off the BMW. Jeff, did you get a chance to see that? It was a massive race.
Oh, it was awesome, as I see guys are still packing up and trying to leave the facility here at the SCCA Runoffs. But boy, John Edwards and Dirk Mueller in that BMW, the battle was on with them, and Jonathan Bomarito and Kuno Whitmer in the Dodge Viper taking the lead, though. You mentioned Oliver Gavin and Tommy Milner were leading the points going in. They had a problem as early as lap 4 with the transmission. Milner pulled it on pit lane. They retired that car about an hour later. They go from 1st to 3rd in the points. Great run in the Dodge Viper from Jonathan Bomarito and Kuno Whitmer.
Yes.
They battled right there at the end, got up to 2nd place.
It was a huge run, the charge of the race. And what was funny, this is what I like about analysts like us, the people who said that the Corvette wasn't going to do well at Circuit of the Americas because with 20 plus turns, 3 miles, there wasn't enough for the Corvettes to take advantage of their horsepower in the GT category. They dominated, and especially Garcia in that last 45-minute stint, that 1-hour stint that he did holding off Mueller in the BMW. He would slide wide and Mueller would close up, even got in front of him at one point. Garcia would come back, and just, it was great racing. When people say sports car racing is not great, they didn't see this, because it was wheel to wheel. And the multiple classes, I've had people tell me that the sports cars with the multiple classes is difficult to keep up with. You're not paying attention. The multiple classes are part of the strategy to pass a car at the right place. I can really get into this, Jeff. It was a great, great race in GT, and all the attention that was paid to Antonio Garcia and Mueller at the front of the GT field, nobody noticed that Bomarito, with another lap, he could have taken the SRT into victory lane himself. He dominated.
He's one of the ones that He's one of the ones that really hates that it ended. I know that Bomarito really wanted that race to keep going to see if he could get that Viper on the top step of the podium. But that racing is all a testament to going green the entire race long. The first time that's happened in ALMS since 2009, especially coming off that disaster at Baltimore.
It got my attention. I tuned into it and was doing something else in the office, and it was like, it gets your attention, especially when you're watching guys are sliding out and having a problem, and give and take, finding the right strategy to get through the traffic. It was a great race. The ALMS round at Circuit of the Americas. There was a couple of things that came out this week. You could check it online. The Tudor United Sports Car Championship schedule came out. One of the losers in the schedule, I believe, is Lime Rock. They fell out of it, but there was some really good races, 12 races in all. 4 that were committed to the ALMS Championship, 4 from Grand Am, another 4. We won't have Baltimore. That's fallen off the schedule. Did you get a chance to see any of that? Any comments, Jeff?
Yeah, I did, and it looks like it's going to be a great schedule for all those teams, and glad they finally do have a schedule to get that out, and teams can really start making their plans. Got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Mike Gouache. He finishes in 2nd in the PC category. That gives him the points lead. He literally lives down the street from my house in California. Great to see my buddy getting it done.
Yeah, see, the Racing Insiders. You're getting the inside information right here, the Racing Insiders. Coming up next, the Global RallyCross in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a weird round. It really shows some real problems in the championship. We'll talk about that right after this when the Racing Insiders comes back.
This segment of the Racing Insiders was brought to you by GoRacingTV.com. For racers, by racers.
It's just sad. It's sad that in a matter of minutes, people can trash you and your business on the internet and get away with it. Did you...
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood with our guest co-host Jeff Lepper at the Road America SCCA Runoffs, the 50th Runoffs. Now let's go to the Global RallyCross dirt track in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a major venue for Global RallyCross, but it wasn't a major race. It was won by Scott Speed, who managed to survive the scrum. A lot that was going on behind him. Second was Brian Deegan, and third was Tomas Heikkinen, who had won, I think, 6 straight events going up to this round. He needed just 3 points to get the championship. He finished 3rd. He got those points. The fin, the T-shirt that's going around now in the Global RallyCross paddock. If you want to win, get a fin. That's what's happened with the young kid Tomas Heikkinen, and he's been here before. But you see the competition. It's to me, Jeff. We could talk about the race, but this scrum that's happening in the first turn of the races, what do you think about that? I'm a Rallycross fan. You may not be, as someone looking from the outside. What do you think about seeing all the cars coming together in this big crash and one guy gets squirted out of the other side?
Well, as my sun sets here, I don't want the sunset on Global RallyCross. It looks like it's going to be a battle to turn 1, and I hate that it's shaping up like that. They need to try to get this worked out. I heard an interview earlier today with Dave Mira. Congratulations once again to him stepping into that Pro Drive Mini. Thanks a huge lot there to Liam Doran for giving up his ride, but Dave Mira was talking about it. He says we have to figure out how to stop this from happening in the turn 1, especially as Global RallyCross starts getting that global audience and gets bigger and bigger.
That is exactly the issue, Jeff. More and more people are starting to look in on this, and when they look in to sample the competition, they get this crash fest. It's like a destruction derby. You can't have that. There's got to be some way to calm this down. They have the same kind of racing with much more competitive drivers in the European Rallycross RX, and you don't have this crash fest. There's fewer cars. There's a lot of differences, but I think the main difference is that there's not enough premium put on the heats. The only thing is you got to win a heat or come in second to get to the final to have a chance to score points. And if everything comes down to just, I got to get in the final, then guys are going to be crashing each other. And you can't say rubbing is racing, because to me, that's just a weakness of guys who don't know how to get it done any other way. So they just bang into you to get you out of the way so you can, so they can have a chance to be successful. Global Rallycross has a huge platform, an opportunity to be successful, but unless they solve this problem, it's going to be a long time before the public buys into it. It just seems like the winners are random, and that's not the case. There are great drivers in the series: Tanner Faust, Ken Block, Travis Pastrana, Sphiri Oxen, Scott Speed, the winner in Charlotte. There are great drivers. Brian Deegan is an off-road champion. Bryce Menzies is an off-road champion. Driver of the year. There are good drivers in this championship, and if they don't get a chance to display that driving and it just becomes random who squirts through the first lap. I saw one guy, Jeff, I didn't believe this. I saw it in a replay to confirm it. A guy was coming into the first turn. He wasn't going to make the turn. Literally, he turned right into the crowd of cars just to bang his way through. That's not racing. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I absolutely agree. And I saw that replay. It seems like it was, hey, I'm going to use the old term, 8 tires are better than 4 to slow myself down. In his case, it looked like 20 tires were better than 4 to slow himself down.
It's a bad time for racing when it comes down to that. Global Rallycross, I'm a fan, so I want it to succeed, but unless they do something to solve these problems, it's going to be very difficult for the championship to succeed in the eyes of the fans and to be something more than just a TV show on ABC or ESPN. That's the Racing Insider's look at Global Rallycross. Are you kidding me? What's bumping around in our heads, including some "Are you kidding me" from Jim Daniels and Peter Keene at the Runoffs. Coming up after this. This is the Racing Insider. We'll be right back.
This segment is brought to you by Safe Racer. Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Are you kidding me?
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood with our guest co-host Jeff Lepper, who's at the Road America SCCA Runoffs. Are you kidding me? We've got something from Jim Daniels, Peter Keene. Let's hear what they have to say while they were at the Runoffs.
Well, Bill, I got to tell you, my Are You Kidding Me is the 50th anniversary of the SCCA National Runoffs. What a great event, over 700 cars. The weather was tricky all week with rain and sun. I mean, as you can see today, Sunday, it's beautiful here at the Runoffs at Road America. My hat goes off to Jim Drago, the first back-to-back winner at Spec Miata. What a battle. I think they had 70-some cars start that race, and it was a war. I mean, even Drago said in his comments that he was mentally drained at the end of that race. Unbelievably competitive races throughout the weekend, and I also got to say I feel bad for Jim Daniels, our co-host. He led like 10 of the laps, or he was battling for the lead, and then had a mechanical right there with 3 to go, and you know, comes up short. But they were calling him the Cinderella story today. That's my Are You Kidding Me? This is club racing at its best. Even Dorsey Trainer says it's the best races in America. You need to come try the Runoff sometime.
Are you kidding me? Andrew Alkalani, 6 seconds clear to field in T1. These are pro team, pro racers. What are they trying to do? Get every T1 Corvette in the nation chopped back down with a 300-pound lead weight? I was very surprised to see a pro team like Phoenix Motorsports come here and let Andrew run 6 seconds faster than the field without even trying to pace them. I understand he's capable, he's a great pro driver, but in my words, it's an "Are you kidding me?" Come on, guys. Back to you.
Jeff Lepper, what's on your mind? Are you kidding me? We throw it to you.
Well, are you kidding me? Here at the 50th running of the SCCA Runoffs at Road America, I got to go all the way back to Monday here for practice. The very first practice sessions for all of these racers, 33 accidents, and not small ones. We're talking huge incidents. Huffmaster, he's out, multinational champion. On the practice day, these guys are crashing, totaling their cars, no chance of getting them fixed. Are you kidding me?
Wow, more than 30? That's incredible. On my mind, are you kidding me? I'm going back to, we just did it in the last segment, but global rallycross. I love the action. I love rallycross, the European rallycross. I would love to see that sport be successful here. Great racing, short races, small fields, one right after the other. It's everything designed for American ADD, American television ADD. There's a chance to really succeed at something here, but if they think that the activity is defined by the crashes, the crash fest, the scrum in turn one, they're mistaken. Fans don't want to see that. They want to see racing. They want to see a guy have a chance to win and for it not to be random. If they think that that's the way it's going to happen, they've got another thought coming and it's going to fail. I guarantee it. Are you kidding me? If they don't solve this problem, global rallycross is going away a lot quicker and a lot sooner than a lot of fans like myself want to see. That's Are You Kidding Me? What's going on in our heads? Coming up next, the calendar for the weekend. Right after this. This is the Racing Insider. Some sports car racing you need to pay attention to this weekend. First, the Grand Am Series has its finale at Lime Rock, where the Grand Am Rolex Series DP and GT are going to have their championships determined. There, the season finale at Lime Rock. Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge is also at Lime Rock. A big weekend closing out the season there in Connecticut. The DTM is at Zandvoort in Holland. The Super GT is Autopolis in Japan. And the European Le Mans Championship is at Le Castellet in France. That's what's going on this weekend. Jeff, do you have a big weekend planned?
Well, I'm finally going to get a weekend off before the final round of the Pirelli World Challenge takes place at the Houston, the Shell Grand Prix in Texas. Got a lot of special things going on that weekend, including Saturday, October 5th. Going to take the plunge. Going to get married at Victory Circle Saturday night, 8 o'clock. If you're in the area, come on down and check that out.
Jeff Lepper inviting the world to his wedding. Congratulations, partner. You're going to jump the broom. That's wonderful. That's a great weekend plan for anybody. To look forward to that, it's going to be a good time. For Jeff Lepper, Jim Daniels, Peter Keene, I'm Bill Wood. This is the Racing Insiders. Take care of each other and respect each other this weekend. We look forward to seeing you next week on the Racing Insiders. Peace.